Hi everyone, my name is Alex Surro, and welcome to the Validating Podcast, a radio show that strives to make any listener smile. Each episode will feature a new guest who will share what makes them unique. Filled with fun games, exciting questions, and inspiring stories, this podcast is aimed towards encouraging anyone to be happy and confident with who they are. As always, comments are encouraged and positivity will always be appreciated. For now, let's sit back, relax, and get on with this week's episode. I hope you all enjoy the Validating Podcast. Hi everyone, welcome to the 7th episode of the Validating Podcast. I am Alex Surro, your host, like always. And as you can probably tell, I'm very excited. I am always excited. I made a joke to myself when I was writing my script. I should come up with synonyms for the word excited because I literally say it every single episode. But let's be real, I would go through the trouble of looking up synonyms, write them down in my script, and then just say excited anyway. So I am excited, as always. I'm happy that you're here. Thank you for clicking on today's video. This podcast is aimed towards making anyone smile. Even if I don't know you, even if we barely talk, I just want to bring positivity into this world. So I'm very excited again because this guest for today, is very near and dear to my heart. We've been friends for over a decade. I feel old just talking about when we first met. We met in 6th grade. In middle school, we were both so young and kind of new to this world in some ways. And somehow, after so much, we've experienced so much together, she still sticks by my side. She still reaches out every once in a while and says, "How are you doing?" And that makes me so happy that we get to do little things here and there like this, where we get to catch up and just to be friends for forever, hopefully. And I really do mean that. She is loyal, she is level-headed and lighthearted. She is so independent, so strong. She makes me she inspires me to be more independent and more welcoming to new changes and my new phase of my life. She's always paving her own way, paving her own path. And I appreciate that so much about her. As you can tell, I am kind of jumbled with my words just because I'm so excited to introduce her. She is Anna.
Hi.
Hi, Anna.
Can't believe we've known each other for a decade.
I know.
You were saying that, and oh my gosh.
I know. I literally had to count too because I didn't want to be wrong, but it's true. Over 10 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Good times.
Yeah, good times. Well, not all good times, but overall good times. Anyway, So I want you to introduce yourself for someone that doesn't know you. Just kind of run down who you are.
Okay. My name is Anna. I am a recent graduate from Marist College, which is in New York. I was a double major in psychology and criminal justice, and I am now applying to grad programs or law schools. Not really sure yet. Crazy time, but I have this semester to take a break, which is great. So yeah.
Good. Thank you. And with all of that you mentioned, how are you doing and how are you coping with this kind of stress?
It's definitely difficult, but I definitely have a lot of support systems in my life, which is great. Example A.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been difficult, and COVID obviously added a lot of stress to everybody's life.
Mm-hmm.
So that was obviously a challenge, but I am very grateful I'm not on campus next semester with COVID.
Mm-hmm. I can relate to that. I spent COVID life in the dorm last semester in the fall, and it was okay. Like, I just was clinging on to campus life for a little bit longer because this semester I'm at home student teaching. So like, I just thought, like even before COVID, I knew I was going to be home for this semester. So it's like, I want one last semester at school, but as you know, it wasn't anything like what we experienced before.
Yeah, that's exactly how I was feeling, because I was kind of debating, because Marist had a lot of rules and kids at Marist aren't always great. So I was debating, like, do I go back? Do I just do it from home? But like you, I just needed to go back for that one last semester.
Right. Good. I asked all my guests this. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited/nervous are you? So 1 is extremely nervous and you're just like, I don't want to be here. But then 10 is like, yes, I'm so excited. Let's get started. Where do you lie?
Okay. Nervous? 5. But then I am very, very excited. So I would give myself like an 8 or 9 for excited. So
Okay, good.
7, I guess, to put myself in the middle of that.
Good. That's a good good happy medium there because I'm constantly at 5 because I have so many nerves. I don't know why. I just like everything could go wrong and I don't know. But obviously nothing goes wrong usually. Like we make it work. My past guests, it's been fun. So I should be higher, but I'm just so overthinking all the time. So
Oh
but yeah.
yeah.
But as you know, I am also very excited. So yeah, good. This is everyone's favorite question. What makes you you?
Okay. See, that's not my favorite question
I,
because I don't know how to answer that.
yep.
I don't know what makes me me. I
Mhm.
guess all my life experiences have made me me, and my family has really helped me. And honestly, I hope this doesn't come across as cheesy. It probably will, but that's okay. COVID has really helped to improve myself. Like, it's given me a lot of time to reflect and has made me a better person. Does that answer the question?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I don't know what makes me like I don't know what makes me unique.
Right. There's no wrong answer to what makes you you because you have to answer from whatever is in your heart, whatever's in your brain. So I can't say if it's wrong or right
That's
because
true. I guess it's yeah, that's true. I guess it's more like a recency thing.
yeah,
Like I have a huge recency bias where like the past year there's been a lot of self-growth, which has been a very obviously positive thing to happen to somebody. So
and that's inspiring that you're able to take this pandemic and look at the light of the like horribleness that's going around you. So like I'm such an optimist that way too, where it won't get to me and like it's good to focus on the individual growth, like you were mentioning, where
yeah,
everyone is kind of struggling and they make it very public on social media or whatever. But if you're grown and mature enough to be like, no, I can still grow out of this period. So yeah, I respect a lot.
right. Yeah. It's an important thing and I'm very grateful that I've been able to have that experience in such a dark time for so many people.
Yes, very good. And then what does validating mean to you? Do you have any examples you want to share or just anything that comes to mind?
I don't know if I have any examples. Obviously, when I hear validating, it's like when you validate somebody's feelings.
Mhm.
So it's when you kind of like, I don't know, you attest to the truth of something. Does
Right.
that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Um, I think everyone I talk to has a different kind of way of putting it. And that's why I created this podcast is just to get a sense of like what it actually means. And it can mean something different to each person, but it doesn't make it any less important. It should be a part of all of our lives, in my opinion. So good.
Definitely.
It's definitely a part of my friendships. I always kind of I don't know how to put it, but I like to appreciate my friends and just even if it's just a quick text here and there, I just like to be like, I appreciate you. Good job with what you're doing. And they go about their day, I go about mine. But yeah.
I was just gonna say those are like always the best kinds of text. Like it's not always like the super long text that's the most meaningful. It's just like that random quick text and like, hey, you doing okay? Like, how are you? Kind of thing.
Now for the first game, are you ready?
I'm so excited.
Okay, good. So it is called 10 Tricky Testimonies. So this game I played with Maya in episode 3, and how it works, if you're not familiar, is that me and Anna both provided index cards with little facts about ourselves. They might be true, they may be false. It's up to us to decide. I don't know what Anna wrote. She doesn't know what I wrote, and we have to decide in the moment if they're true or false. And we have to be quick because we only have 60 seconds to get through 10 index cards. So any points, any cards that you get correctly identified true or false is 1 point. Any card you just don't get to is -1. Any card that you guess but get wrong is 0. So the reason that I do that is so you're more motivated to get through them all, even if you don't think about them fully. Does that make sense? I hope. Okay. So do you have a preference on whether you hold up cards first and I guess, or vice versa?
You hold up cards first. Yeah.
Okay. And I'll start my timer. 60 seconds on the clock. And I'll start it as soon as I hold up my first card. Here we go. Go.
I started. Wait, I can't see it.
I know,
I
sorry.
started to take piano lessons and true.
Okay. Oh, I forgot how bad I am. Um, I'll give you extra seconds. Hold on, hold on. Okay.
I applied to 4 colleges. True.
Okay.
For 3 years. True.
Okay.
I think I want to say true to all of them. False.
Okay. This is hard.
Oh, I played this. False.
Okay.
False.
Okay.
Alex and driving. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Oh, false.
Okay.
We haven't caught up with that whole thing yet.
I know, right?
True.
Okay. That one. Okay.
False. Unless there's something I don't know. Apparently, sounds like you. False. I feel like you have like 4.
Okay. Good. So yeah, you went over, but since like technical things and whatever, I didn't count the time that much. But let's go through them. I'm
Yay.
excited. Okay.
I'm so excited.
So you said this is true if I could go to the moon and not die. It is true.
Yeah.
You got that right. I would love to go to the moon. Sorry. Okay, there it is. 3 years. It was actually 1.5 years, so a little off on that. But
Wow.
because I didn't like it there, and I got a new job, so I was like, I'm out of here. So
Yeah, I remember. I just thought it was longer. I don't know why.
I applied to 4 schools and got accepted into all of them. It is true. I knew what I liked, and I didn't want to apply to more schools if I didn't have to.
Yeah, I remember you got into all of them too. I just couldn't remember if it was 4 or more or fewer.
Yeah. I started taking piano lessons at 7 is false. I actually learned, I think, at 12. Yeah, 2012 I started. So 7's a bit young. I currently own 2 pairs of shoes is true. I literally have 2 pairs of shoes. I have my work shoes that I do student teaching in, and then my sneakers that I wear to everything else. Oh, wait, I lied. I have 3 because, okay, so I guess you're right.
Wait, what's your 3rd pair?
Winter boots.
Oh.
Like really snowy. Okay.
I was thinking like dress shoes.
Right. Yeah. But no. I mean, I did at one point, but I haven't gone anywhere formal in like forever, and I've grown.
Yeah.
So
That's true. You've grown.
it would not fit me. I have a tattoo on my ankle is false. No.
Okay.
You're like, yeah, I know that. I played baseball and forced to pitch is false. Which is not right. I did play baseball and I didn't like it, but I never pitched because I was awful.
I feel like you played t-ball too. Like I feel like I remember seeing videos of you.
Yeah.
Play t-ball.
And there's that one that I forget my glove and I'm going onto the field and I'm like, hi, mom and dad. They're like, your glove. And I'm like, hi.
They're so cute.
Yeah, I was a cute baby. Okay. I like how I admit that. I don't know. I'm not cute now.
It's so true. You were such a cute baby.
Thank you. Peter stress, I drive around my neighborhood. No, I do not. That's if I want to get stressed, then I drive.
Then you get in the car.
And then last but not least, I have met a Newsies musical. Yeah, right? Isn't that cool?
Oh my god, who was it?
His name is Chaz, and he wasn't like he was not a main character. What am I looking for? He was in most of the scenes, and he didn't have that many lines, but he was in like all the dances. Like he was a Newsies. Whatever newspaper. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
I only saw the musical like once, but I was like, this is so cool. And we did a dance workshop. I don't dance, but cue High School Musical 2 song. I don't dance. I know you can. Not a chance. No. Anyway, I just like wanted to see a Broadway actor, and like obviously virtually wasn't that great, but it was still pretty fun.
That's so cool.
Yeah, like one of my friends had a connection, and then we made it a theater event last.
Wow.
So yeah.
Oh, that's so fun.
It was fun. Okay, so your total was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 points.
Oh, okay. Out of 10. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right.
Wait. I opened my calculator and not my timer. Okay.
I do that all the time.
All right, whenever you're ready. I have broken 2 bones. False. Darn it, I'm already so unsure. I've been working at Best Friends for 7 years. False. That's way too long. I have had my wisdom teeth taken out. Oh no. Oh my god, Anna, I have no idea. I'm gonna say true, but I think it's false. I had a trip to London planned the night before COVID hit. You had a trip planned, but Was it to London? True. Going with my gut. True. I'm allergic to raspberries. That is so random. False. I'm so bad at this. I had 4 teeth. Why teeth again? No. Wait. I would have known this. Um, True. I don't know. I love the. What does that say? Oh, show
The
survivor.
show
True.
Survivor.
Okay, true. I know that for a fact. My dog's name is Ella. Oh, I don't know your dog's name because we haven't talked about it yet. True. I used to have 3 cats. No, false. Wait, no, true though, because you had two. I'm saying false, but I think it's true.
Okay.
I don't know. I played soccer growing up. I don't know this either because you definitely didn't when I knew you, but I didn't know you for 5th grade and below. False, I think.
Okay. You did really well.
Did I? I'm sweating. No,
Yeah.
it's so hard. Okay.
Okay.
Let me have it.
I played soccer growing up. No, I did not.
Good.
You said false.
Yep.
My dog's name is Ella.
Okay.
That's true.
Cool. So cute.
I do love the show Survivor, obviously. Yep. I have had 4 teeth pulled.
Oh, okay.
2 from the bottom, 2 from the top.
Huh.
I'm not allergic to raspberries.
Yeah.
You said false. You got that right.
Good.
I have had my wisdom teeth taken out.
Wow.
Not fun.
Lots of pulled, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't count those 4. Oh well, that doesn't count.
Right.
I've been working at Best Friends for 7 years. It's been 5.
Oh, okay.
So you're right. I've broken 2 bones. I've never broken a bone. So you're right.
Nice.
I'm surprised you didn't get that one right off the bat because I use that for every 2
Right.
truths and a lie, and I feel like we've played so many 2 truths and a lie in like so many different classes together.
You're right. But again, it's been 4 years, Anna, since we've been in high school. So.
That's true.
But you're right. It was familiar.
Yeah. I know.
That's funny.
Good. I used to have 3 cats. That is true. You said false.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a trip to London planned before COVID that I didn't get to go on. You said true. It's false. I had a trip to Italy planned that I didn't get to go on.
Stupid. Okay. I say stupid, but that was smart. Were you counting? I wasn't counting. How many points?
Yeah, you got 8 right.
8? Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm good.
Yeah, you did really well.
Thank you. Well, I made mine obscure on purpose because I knew I couldn't have, I could have given you a give me, you gave me Survivor. That was so obvious. But I needed to make them tricky on purpose because
That's true.
I just loved you so much. But yeah, so that was fun. Did you have fun? I had fun.
Yeah, that was so fun.
Okay.
I like that game.
Good. I don't know. I hope you learned something. What?
My cheeks hurt from smiling.
Really? Good.
Yeah.
Is it because you got so many teeth pulled out? That's what I heard. The next game I have planned is Loud and Proud.
Let me show you what it's all about. Check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah, I'm gonna light it up. Check it out. I'm gonna light it up. Yeah,
Loud and Proud is a game that I played with Lucas, and all it is giving my guest, in this case Anna, an opportunity to just share what she's proud of. So whenever you're ready, Anna, share a couple of things. If you only have one, that's good too, but anything that comes to mind when you say, I'm proud of myself, what do you mean? Go.
Okay. So just 1 or 2 things?
Yeah, 1 or 2 things.
Okay. I'm proud of myself for graduating college a semester early, and I'm proud of myself during the pandemic. I became president of my theater club on campus, and then over the summer, our director was accused of some racist. There was a whole Black Lives Matter Instagram. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but there's a Black Lives Matter Instagram account associated with Marist, which is awesome, and people can submit things through Google form and kind of share their story and share their experience at Marist. And so they received a lot of stories about our director and program advisor of him being racist, and he's just overall pretty inappropriate with students. So over the summer I had to work with the Dean of School of Liberal Arts and then the Vice President of Academic Affairs to kind of solve that situation. So it was something I'm proud of, that we were able to remove him from our club and carry on in a difficult time. So
Great. Yeah, awesome. And let me ask some follow-up questions if you don't mind. And anything that you don't want to share, please don't. But my question for you is like, how should I phrase it? When you first heard about this incident of like, I'm assuming you've worked with this director in the past, correct? And so like, how did that feel when you first heard the news, or like, did you even believe it at first? Like, talk us through the process of like that whole thing.
Yeah, so I met him my freshman year of college, worked really closely with him, and I knew that he was inappropriate with students, not in like a sexual way or anything like that. It was just kind of making jokes about people's weight and playing favorites and stuff like that. And a lot of people just really didn't like him. And so I always knew about that sort of stuff, but his racist comments I didn't know about. And so hearing some of those stories was really, really hard to hear and, think that somebody's going into a theater class and they're being compared to Rosa Parks. I'll tell you the story. Girl was sitting in the back of the class, not really talking or something like that. And he said, "Don't pull a Rosa Parks on me." Yeah. And so the girl like got up and just left the class. And theater is supposed to bring people together. It's supposed to be a safe space. And so to know that somebody went through that and then had to continuously go back to that class, and for everybody else sitting in that class, that's something so awful to hear. So I definitely believed that at first, but people were saying that he made racist casting choices. So we recently just did Chicago. Are you familiar with Chicago in the movie?
Yeah, somewhat, yeah.
Okay. So there's a character, Mama, and that was played by Queen Latifah. But on Broadway, it was originally played by a white woman. And so a white woman student played Mama in our production. But our director was accused of making a racist casting decision because somebody decided that Mama was supposed to be played by a Black woman. And that's just not true.
Yeah.
And that happened with a few casting decisions for a few different shows. And so I had to basically say that to the Dean of School of Liberal Arts and the Vice President of Academic Affairs, I understand where they're coming from. And if he clearly has a pattern of being racist, I can understand how they believe that that's, racist, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if Broadway's casting
Right.
white women and Black women, it's clearly a role that can be
Yeah.
played by anybody.
Right, exactly.
And she fit the role, and that's all there is to it. So, I mean, it was definitely difficult to hear, and I was close with him, but you need to make people feel comfortable and safe, and theater's a home for people, and you can have an unsafe home. So it was difficult, but needed to be done.
Great. And that is something that I'm glad you recognize looking back on it, that I am like, you are proud of it, because it's not easy to kind of stand out or like put your neck out, I guess, for the good of the people, because like you said, you were close with him, you've worked with him. But when it comes down to like whether or not people feel comfortable, whether or not people feel confident enough to put themselves out there, especially in a theater setting, because you are very vulnerable in some cases, even if you're working backstage. But I mainly think of like actors have to take risks. Our director in high school would always say, take risks. And to do that, you need a good environment. And yeah, I just can't even imagine what people go through sometimes, because there's stories all over about mistreatment, and yeah, it just breaks my heart.
Me too.
So thank you. And then going back to your first thing that you were proud of, we kind of skipped over it, but you graduated a semester early, which is not common. And I just guess I'm curious how you manage that, like mentally, like how your brain kind of works that way. Just kind of technically, how do you stuff 4 years of courses into 3.5? Like, walk us through that, like what it felt like to, and when did you first start? Sorry, I know this is like 10 questions in one, but like, how did you first think of like, let me graduate in 3.5 years instead of 4? Let's start with that and then move on.
Honestly, my first semester there, I wanted to graduate in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't like Marist at first. I wasn't having a great time. Just things I didn't really like campus life that much. I didn't really have a core friend group that I could really trust. And so I said to myself, you know what, I want to do this in 3 years. If I'm not having a good time, I just want to get out in the world and work or go for a master's or go for something else. Like, I just need to get out. And then I started to fall in love with Marist because a lot of people have a hard freshman year. And I knew that it kind of wasn't possible to finish in 3 years for myself with a double major and a paralegal certificate. So I think my sophomore year was when I decided that 3.5 years would be my goal. If I could accomplish it, that's great. If I can't, then that's okay. And when COVID hit, I actually was considering staying for the full 4 just because we lost 8 weeks of spring semester. But it just, like we were talking about way before all this, it just isn't realistic to be back on campus this semester. It's just going to be like last semester. So I finally made the decision last semester to do it in 3.5 years because I was done. So I would have had to add a minor. But mentally it was difficult, but with good advisors, I was able to kind of coordinate my schedule accordingly.
Good. And I think advisors do make a big difference. I know from my experience, like some of my I can't think of the word, classmates, there it is. Some of my classmates say that my advisor doesn't help me. My advisor like literally just sits there and like makes me do all the work. And what's weird about mine is that it makes me feel independent. It makes me feel like it's my own decision. It is my college experience, yet she still supports me. She still like advises me. That is their job. So I'm very thankful for my kind of path with education, because I was so nervous as a freshman. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, obviously I knew I wanted to be a teacher, but I don't know how to get there. And she's like very good at like step by step, this is what you have to do.
That's awesome. And that's what you want in an advisor. And I mean, we had the same advisor in high school, so we both know the struggles of a not advising advisor.
I forgot about that for a second. Oh my god. Anyway. Okay, good. So that concludes Loud and Proud. And if you have anything to add, please add it now. But I think that was okay. Good. I think that was a good conversation that we just had. And it should encourage you, whoever you are, to be proud of yourself too, because sometimes it's hard where you're just like, I don't like, I did a thing, but it's okay. Like, it's just whatever. But I want to highlight, like, yes, you should be proud of your accomplishments. And that's coming from me because I am very bad at being proud of myself too. So it's a lot easier said than done sometimes. Now, our third game is called Share and Compare. So this new game is something I came up with where it involves more talking, funny enough. And I don't know how to describe it that well because my brain, it makes sense, but if I try to speak it, it doesn't. But I'll try my best. So right now, I have 4 index cards, and inside of them are events / things / like experiences that me and Anna have interacted with in our life. And some of them are like that we've shared and that we have experienced together, but then some aren't. So it's like, that's where it's confusing, where like we have had experiences that are similar in different places and like different, like physically and just like how we interact with them. But the main takeaway of this game is like, we go into a situation with different mindsets and then come out of it with different takeaways. And like, I don't know, you'll just get it. And then hopefully it makes sense. But all I need Anna to do is to pick a number 1 through 4, and then I'll read it out
loud. 3.
3, okay. And I'll start the conversation, and then whatever you have to add to it, like your kind of perspective about it, please do that. Okay, so this one is what I was talking about, where we both experienced this, but not together. And it is our move-in day for the first day of college. So my experience with my first move-in day was pretty good. It was nerve-wracking because I was so nervous to go to college. I was so nervous to meet my roommate. But of course, my family, I have a big family, and they, other than my 2 brothers, but my sister, my mom, and my dad all joined me, and we did the classic like drive up. And I only went to Framingham State, which is only 15 minutes down the road, so it wasn't like a huge deal. But it was very like, this is happening. I'm going into college right now. And everything just like set in. And we got those little like laundry bins things that you push around. And it was weird because I went through that process with my two brothers, and it just didn't feel the same, obviously, because I was able to go back with my parents at the end of the day. So it was weird that my parents left me and I was alone. So yeah, I think I look back on my move-in day pretty positively, but also stressfully. So how was your experience?
I would say kind of similar. I
Mhm.
mean, opposite where I don't have a big family, so it's just me and my mom, and I was 3.5 hours away.
Mhm.
So that, and I didn't have my car, so that was kind of scary.
Yeah.
But it was the same thing where it was like laundry bins, and you put all your stuff in these like giant laundry bins.
Right.
Um, but I was lucky, or I guess grateful, that I knew one person on campus because I met her during Accepted Students Day, and so we weren't living in the same dorm, but I went and I hung out with her and her roommates and housemates or suitemates.
Mhm.
So that definitely made me feel more comfortable.
Right.
But it was definitely nerve wracking,
Right.
especially meaning I had two roommates and we were in a triple,
Mhm.
and so that was interesting.
Right.
So yeah, I would say pretty similar experience.
Good. But I think, like you mentioned, it's funny that we do have a lot of opposites in our college experiences because I was like, I want to stay close. And then you're like, I don't. And then you, obviously, 3.5 hours is close compared to plane rides away. But like,
Right.
compared to 15 minutes, anything is a long time. So um, that's always interesting to me. But also, uh, let's talk about roommates briefly. I don't want to say anything like major, but like first impressions, I remember my roommate was very nice, and we had a lot in common. So I, of course, me being me, was like, let me look this guy up on Facebook. Let me message him and be like, are you bringing a TV? Are you bringing this? Should we pay for a microwave? Like I had so many questions for my roommate, so I felt bad for him, but he was always ready to answer. And one of the first questions he asked, he might be watching this right now, so I don't want to say anything if he doesn't feel comfortable with it. But we're friends now, so like that just proves that we had a good experience. But anyway, one of the first questions she asked me was, "Do you smoke or drink at all?" And I was like, "No, do you?" I was so nervous. She was like, "I do, but I don't go crazy." I'm like, "Okay, good." And now that I know him, I'm like, "Yeah, he does drink, but he's just not like a binge drinker. He doesn't get like super drunk. So like he respects me, I respect him, and we are good friends now." So, but I definitely think it took us a while to like get friendly because we were both awkward. We're still both awkward human beings, and he hopefully accepts that. If not, I'm sorry. I'm not even gonna say his name. So if no one, it doesn't matter. Um, I keep forgetting how public this podcast is. Like literally anyone from my school could be watching this, but it doesn't
Yep.
matter because I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying first impressions were kind of funny. So that's all I'll say before I regret anything. And what was your first impressions of your roommate? Roommate?
Oh God. I don't want to say too much
Right.
just because opposite of you, we are not friends anymore.
Right.
Um, they one of them was really really nice right off the bat, and we started talking before we got there and kind of like who was bringing what, and she kind of decided to bring everything, which was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the other one, neither of us really talked to that much. She just was on the shy side and was very nervous. And she said that, and I'm using her words, like she had been coddled at home, and so she was very much a homebody, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
So she was just definitely more on the nervous side. And then when we got there, they were both super super nice right off the bat.
Good.
But it's hard living with two other people in close quarters.
Yes, I agree. It's
Big
like,
personalities.
yeah,
Yeah.
different personalities, but also like we're all going through this new experience together, and everyone deals with stress differently.
Right.
So college is a very different experience for so many
Yeah.
different reasons. But yeah, that's fun. And then now it's even weirder to think about college moving because they do it so much different with COVID guidelines and stuff.
So
So
weird.
yeah,
Yeah, it's so weird with COVID now.
right. Okay. Yeah, well, let's move on to another card. I have 1, 2, or 4. Which one do you want?
One.
Okay.
Odd numbers, I guess.
What?
I said I guess I'm picking the odd numbers.
I guess so. Okay, good. I was hoping you would pick this one. This one's fun. Driving lessons. So I'll let you start because I feel like you had a slightly better experience than I did, but you can start and then I'll piggyback on it.
Yeah, I would definitely say that I did have a better experience than you did, except for that first guy that we both had, who was absolutely terrifying, yelled at me for braking for a squirrel because I didn't want to kill a squirrel and there was nobody behind me. Um, but then when I'm gonna say his name because I love him, Mr. Blaze.
Mhm.
When we would have Mr. Blaze, it was so much fun, and he was so nice, and he was a good instructor, and we were actually able to, like learn how to drive with him.
Right.
But all I can remember, other than the scary first guy, is when we were driving, or you were driving, I was in the back observing, and we were in Ashland, and somebody passed you, and you were like, what? And the instructor was like, it's okay, just keep going, just
Oh.
like step on the brake a little. And you're like, oh, okay. And I was just in the back seat watching the whole thing. Pretty sure you're like by Ashland Middle School or something.
Mhm. That's
Yeah.
so funny. I do not remember that story.
You don't
I'm glad
remember
that you do.
that? I do. It's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, when I drove in my driving lessons in the beginning, like probably the first year of driving, honestly, it would always be like narrow mind, like just focusing on the road, nothing else. So like, yes, I obviously saw the car, but I just block it out of my brain at this point. Um, but yes, I definitely was gonna mention our first driving lesson ever because that guy was not nice. And it didn't help that I didn't practice before driving lessons. But to be fair, if they're hired to do driving lessons, shouldn't they be supportive and like, okay, I understand that you're not the best driver. Who knows?
He was so mean.
And I remember because they obviously have those like emergency brakes on their side, which is safe, obviously, but he used that way too much.
So much.
And he would slam on it and then look towards you and be like, "What the heck are you thinking?" And he would be so like, ugh, gets me so mad. But yes, I think from there it got better. And I remember, I think the reason I was like so stressed about it was because we had like a time limit, obviously, because we needed to get these 12 hours, whatever it was, done by a certain date. And then we did this like partner thing so we could get our observation and driving hours in one. And I want to say that you scheduled one without me knowing, and then you kind of brought it up. Like, not, I'm not blaming you. I don't think it's like totally fine now, but I just remember being so like, oh, I guess we're doing this, and then going for it. And maybe there was something that I'm missing, but there was definitely a like factor of like, I haven't even driven yet. Why am I doing a driving lesson kind of thing? But whatever happened, I just remember being so scared. And he had to drive me home because it was so bad. Like I literally could not drive on a main road. So that was fun. But
I remember that. I
after
remember
that,
talking about that. I'm so sorry.
yeah. We waited like a week or so after that first lesson, and then that one went much better. I think his name was Jay. He was this old guy, very friendly, like Mr.
Yes, and he
Yeah.
would bring us to Cumberland Farms, and he would let
Yeah.
us get milkshakes.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so yeah,
He was
that
great.
like so much better, and I was more comfortable. He would always like nudge my wheel a little bit because I would always like veer. So I'm not saying I'm a better driver now. I'm definitely better than I was then. I'm still petrified to drive, as you know. Um,
Yes.
just the other day, we texted about driving into Boston, and we're like, nope, won't do it. So like,
Nope.
we still have fear of driving, but it's definitely gotten better. Um, I'm, I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm like completely 100% like comfortable behind the wheel, but I'm not scared to do it anymore as much as I was. Like I sound like a child when I say this, but like I don't know. I'm like comfortable. Like I don't know how to describe it. I just feel like more at ease when I'm driving.
Yeah.
But still not
Good.
like I like to drive. I don't think. So yeah, there's one other thing.
Yeah. Do you remember when I parked your car for you at Friendly's?
Okay, that was because I do remember this because it was when I just got my new phone, and if anyone doesn't know, I had an iPod instead of a phone for 18 years of my life, so I was not used to the vibration of a phone. So Anna calls me saying that she's there, but I hear this loud buzzing noise, and I was like, "What the heck is that?" So I'm like parking, but this loud buzzing noise that I don't know what it is. It might be my car, so I just need to park and then see what's going on. It was my phone the entire time. So I was stressed about that. I got out of
Just
the
me.
car and it's just like what? This is not a parking job. You have to do it over. I'm like, do you want to do it? And she's like, sure. So
Yeah, that was. And your car is way bigger than my car, and I don't drive big cars.
yeah,
So I felt good about myself after driving your car.
right.
It's
Like
great.
the 2 inches. Yeah. I miss Friendlies. Oh my gosh. We were at Friendlies, if that wasn't clear. Okay.
Yeah, I love
Um,
Friendlies.
yeah, me too. Except the service was not great, but that's
It
okay.
was so bad.
They were not friendly. But I'm not. Good. Okay. So we're not going to do the other two cards, but would you like to know what I wrote down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're not going to talk about them because that would be way too long. But I said our last AHS2S banquet.
I knew it. I knew it.
Number 4 was our friendship.
Oh, okay.
So I just wanted to keep it broad, and then we would talk about our friendship, but we didn't have to, luckily. So that's good.
Luckily.
Just kidding. Okay, cool. Thank you for playing that new game. I hope you liked it. I think it's fun, yeah, to reminisce on things. And like I said, we had similar experiences, but different takeaways for sure. So the last game, or one of the last games we have planned is Wrong Answers Only. And the way this is going to work is that we both prepared slideshows for each other, but I haven't seen Anna's, Anna hasn't seen mine, and the objective of the game is to give wrong answers only. So if I show a picture of myself and I just go, Anna, who is this? And then she would say me, she would be right, but she would be wrong in this game because she's supposed to give wrong answers only. I am not on the slideshow. That's why I chose that example, just so you know. But yeah, so again, it makes sense if you watch it rather than have me try to explain it. So Anna, you said you wanted to go first, right? All right.
Alex,
Mm.
what is this?
This is a pineapple.
So is it an animal?
Nope,
Do you like it?
not really. I'm
Where?
good actually. Sorry.
Oh. Where can you find this?
In my backyard, I'm growing a patch of these pineapples in my backyard actually.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Do I just go to the next one now?
Yeah, whenever you feel like it's necessary, go ahead.
Okay. Alex, who is this?
Well, I mean, there's multiple people in the picture, so
The main person in this
Oh.
picture. Who is this?
That's interesting. That's actually my brother Connor.
Oh, and when was this picture taken of Connor?
Just yesterday, actually. Last night. Mhm.
And why is he in this getup?
So he likes to go to festivals, and they're all virtual now, but they're called Kilticon, and they kind of dress up in kilts and wear the hat, and then they discuss their kilt loving. So again, they're virtual, they're being safe, but he dressed up anyway.
Okay. All right. Next one. Alex, do you know who this person is?
Yes, I do know this person.
Who is he?
This is well, this is impossible. I'm so confused. This is Harry. Yeah,
What's Harry's last name?
Connick Jr.
What?
Harry Connick Jr. Isn't that a person?
I don't know.
Okay.
Is he like, what's his occupation?
He is a dentist because of his white teeth. Do you see them? He's a dentist.
Oh yeah. And is he married?
He is divorced, I think.
Oh, okay. And how many kids? If he has kids?
He has 17 kids.
Wow. All right, ready for this next one?
Yes.
Do you know who this man is?
Nope, never seen him before in my life.
No. So what's his name?
His name is Bob the Builder.
And do you think he likes the show Survivor?
I would say probably not, just because he's so busy with his building that he doesn't pay attention to reality TV.
Oh, okay. All right. So I guess his occupation is building.
Mm-hmm.
Is he married?
I don't know. I really don't. No, I don't think so.
Okay. We'll just go to the next one. This is probably the best one. Are you ready?
Yes. Of course, yep. uh,
Do you know who this is?
I do not know this person personally, no.
What's his name?
His name is Jeff Probst.
And what's Jeff's job?
Jeff's job is to stare into my soul with those beady little eyes.
I feel like that's a right answer.
I know, right? I'm sorry. Sorry. Jeff's job is to play the guitar professionally.
And is he married?
No, that I know for a fact. He is not married.
He's not married.
No,
No.
he's gonna be single for the rest of his life for sure.
Do you think that he likes the name Kurt?
I mean, I would assume not, because who likes the name Kurt? Other
True.
than Kurt from Glee, but other than that, no.
Definitely not this guy though. He definitely
No.
hates the name Kurt.
Right.
Okay, that's all I have.
Good. That's so hard. Okay. So I have fun making title screens. Do you like it?
Ooh, that's fancy.
Isn't it? It's okay.
That's good.
All right. You ready for this?
Yes,
Yes meaning no, or yes meaning yes?
my head hurts.
I know, mine too.
My head doesn't hurt.
Oh. Anna, who is this?
That is Clyde.
Okay. And is Clyde a real person, or is he from a TV show?
Clyde is 100% real.
Okay. And when Clyde goes out, like he is out right now, does he wear suits often, or is this a special occasion?
This is totally a special occasion.
Good.
Like,
And
hate suits.
he hates suits? Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. What's in his hand? What is his like drink of choice? Would you
Apple juice.
say? Apple juice, really? Me too.
Yes.
Okay. Would you say that he no, we'll just move on. I don't have another question. Okay. Anna, do you know who this person is?
No.
Okay. So do you why did okay. Let me ask you though, do you know any chance by where he works, or if he works? Is the better question.
Yeah, he's actually an actor.
He's an actor, really? Okay, what's he been in? What movies or TV shows have you been in?
He was in Mean Girls.
Mean Girls? As what role?
Damien.
Okay, good. I can see that for sure.
You do, totally.
And so I know for a fact, I can say this, that he interacts with students sometimes with his job, and like students, he has a big fan base of students. When he interacts with these students, what is he like? Is he the super nice guy? Is he sarcastic? Is he fun? Is he, give me a couple adjectives to describe this actor.
He's so nice, so sweet, loves every human on the planet. It's just so nice. I'd cut that part out. I don't know why I did that.
Good. So you've never met this person, or have you?
No, never met him.
Okay. We'll move on then.
Okay.
This is a restaurant. What is the restaurant's name?
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms. I thought that was a cereal. It's a restaurant now?
Yep.
What did they serve at the Lucky Charms restaurant?
Lucky Charms.
Really? Shocking.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Have you been to this restaurant before?
Never.
So then how
Sounds
do you...
disgusting.
Interesting. But how do you know about it if you have never been to it?
I had a friend tell me about it, and she just said that it was so bad.
Gotcha. And I see that it says ice cream window right here, if you can see my mouse. Do they serve ice cream?
No.
Oh. That's missing.
That's a lie.
Okay. Interesting. Moving on. Does this person look familiar to you? Have you seen this person in the last 24 hours or so?
Never.
Interesting. Do you know his name by any chance? Or her name? Maybe?
It's actually James.
Oh, it's James. Interesting.
Yes.
And I see his hat. What does that say, Anna? What does it say on his hat there? What is that?
I think it says maple tree.
Maple tree. Do you know the significance behind a maple tree?
James's favorite tree is a maple tree.
Oh, well, I should have guessed that one. Okay. And then this shirt that he's wearing, I think is very like interesting. I would wear this shirt. Do you think this is a part of James's wardrobe? Like, is it very often that he wears this, or not at all?
No, I think I think he just bought it and doesn't really like it.
Right. He must be a suit wearer then.
Definitely.
Okay. So I'll give you. I'm gonna say this straight up. This is me when I was in junior year of high school. This is Anna. This one here. Hopefully you can see my mouse. It's not the one that's closer. It's the one that's fixing my tie. But give us some context, Anna. What are we doing in this photo? Why are we dressed up?
We are going to the ballet.
The ballet. Okay. Interesting. And did we go to the ballet often or not so much?
All
Was
the
it
time.
All the time?
All the time, yeah.
How did we afford to pay for tickets if we were only high school students?
They were gifted to us
Gifted.
by our gym teachers.
Oh, that makes sense. I think gym teachers go to the ballet all the time.
All the time, especially our gym teachers. They loved the ballet.
Right. And really cared for our students for sure.
No, they loved us.
Yeah, I would say yes. And then my only question next is, did we coordinate the bow tie with your dress? Like we both were wearing red. Was that planned?
Yes.
Okay, good. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Good job.
Thank you.
You survived.
I accidentally said Caitlin. I was like, Caitlin, and then I was like, wrong answer.
Right. That's so funny. I had to put
I was
that
hoping you were gonna ask me so.
What? You were gonna, what did you say?
I was just gonna say I was hoping you were gonna ask me what her name was, so then I could say Danielle.
That would have only been funny to us though. Except maybe high school people, but I don't think my high school friends are watching this. Maybe. Hi high school friends if you're watching this. Yeah, that was fun. And I am learning from my past episode, because if you watch last episode, me and Lexi walked through the like characters, whoever we showed like afterwards, and we ran through our slideshows. But my dad, he watched it and he was like, okay, well this game is fun and all, but I would prefer if you had like a little edit where you kind of wrote in who it is for the viewers, because for us it's fun. We know Jeff Probst, we know Barney Stinson, but for someone that's just watching and it's like, okay, why are they laughing? Why is this funny? Then you can find out in real time, like, oh, it's Mr. Coakley, our science teacher from
That is a good idea.
So again, it's like to keep them.
I thought it was Mr. Stroud at first. It took me a second. I was like, I know this guy. I was like, I know that this is a teacher. And then I was like, Mr. Stroud? And I was like, no. Okay. But you could see it like when it hits me.
Right. Yeah. I thought it was because the PowerPoint was delayed. I was like, why is she laughing now? It turned the slide like 2 minutes ago. That's so funny. Good. Yeah, no, I had to put him in there, and I looked him up online, and I think there was like one photo that I didn't like of him. So I was like, okay, go into the yearbook. So I found him in the yearbook.
That's so smart.
So, and I doubt he would ever find this podcast. So hi, Mr. Coakley, for watching this.
Hi, Mr. Coakley.
We're going to finish up here, and our last hurrah for today is the same thing we do every episode, is our 3, 2, 1.
You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there.
Anna, if you're ready, I would love to hear your 3 thankful thoughts, your 2 I messed that up, 2 today takeaways, and 1 ounce of optimism. I keep it open-ended on purpose, and as you know, you can take as long as you want, because whatever pause you take, I can edit it. So whenever you're ready, go for it.
I am thankful for our friendship. I am thankful for my family and my new puppy Ella, and I am thankful for my boyfriend Michael.
Very good.
Who's right over there.
Hi, Michael.
He can't hear you. I have headphones in. Michael, say hi.
Hi. Okay. Now, today takeaways. So 2 things that you experienced today. It can be related to the podcast. It doesn't have to be, but anything that you took away from today, looking back on it.
Okay, the first thing, I'm so sorry, it's not going to be about the podcast.
That's fine.
It's going to be about my puppy Ella.
Mm-hmm.
She came over here today to Michael's house and was doing really, really well, like not biting or anything like that. So it's my takeaway is seeing improvement with that, which is really nice. And then with the podcast, just like reconnecting with you, because obviously, like as you said, we've been friends for a decade. That's crazy. I don't know why I leaned in so strangely.
Yeah. Good.
So it was really nice to be able to like reconnect with you and actually like talk over the phone or like FaceTime or something like that.
Mhm. For sure. Okay, and then last but not least is just your ounce of optimism, which is something that you think of to make you feel good and optimistic that you want to share with the viewers.
Okay. That the day doesn't last forever. So if something bad happens to me one day, I'm thinking, okay, is this going to matter next week? Is this going to matter in a year? Is this going to matter in 5 years? So I could be really upset about something, but if I'm not even going to remember that one thing in a week, then I shouldn't be getting that upset over it. So just kind of helps me get through the day.
Yeah, very well said. It reminds me of that driving lesson 3 years ago. I obviously do remember it, but we grew from it and we're here now. So good. Thank you, Anna, for everything that you told us today. I hope you had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. Like you said, it was good to catch up after who knows how long. We haven't seen each other in so long because of COVID.
So long.
And I wanted to mention that I think it's funny that when you wished me a happy birthday in July, you said, I hope COVID's over soon so we can meet up. And then I wish you a happy birthday in November. I hope COVID's done so that we can meet up. Like, it stinks, but we're making it work. We're reconnecting in different ways. And I think that's why I created this podcast. So it's not just like, hey, can we Zoom one day and just be like, whatever. I like want a purpose. And so I kind of just like to film my conversations with my friends, play fun games, and hopefully someone out there, whoever you are, Mr. Coakley, hello, then I would love to make you smile. So thank you again. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate your viewing. I always mess up viewing. I don't know why. Every time I say thank you for your viewer, and it doesn't make sense. But anyway, we move past it. Thank you for your viewing. The question of the day for today is, if you were playing Wrong Answers Only with me, who is someone or what is something that you would have so much trouble with lying about? So I don't really have an answer for this, but I bet if I saw something, an elephant, I guess that's one of them. That was very hard to lie about. And Lexi actually also had that on her PowerPoint because it's just a staple of my personality, apparently. We talked about this too. Everyone loves sending me elephant things, and as much as I love it, it gets very like, okay, cute, and then move on. But they are cute. I do love them for a reason. I'm going on a tangent. So just, that's the question of the day. If you have something like an elephant that's so near and dear to your heart that you would have trouble lying about, put it down in the comments, and I would love to read them. Also, follow me on Instagram at The Validating Podcast. I post fun things over there. I said last episode that I post every day. I do not post every day. I post when I want, and then hopefully people see them. Lastly, email me at thevalidatingpodcast@gmail.com if you feel like commenting or doing critiquing. I would love your critiques. Something that I can improve for this podcast. I'll try to find a better light spot because the sun went down and now I'm in the dark. But other than that, let me know because I love to hear from my viewers. So anything that you need to know that's a little bit more private than just a YouTube comment, I created that email for that reason. Okay, that was a lot. Anna, do you have any last words for us before we end the call?
No, thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you for accepting my invitation. So,
It's been very fun.
Good. Thank you again, everyone, and I will see you in 2 weeks, and stay validated, whatever that means to you. Bye.